for Caesar. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is the latest installment in the Planet of the Apes franchise, and the follow-up to the Caesar Planet of the Apes trilogy, Rise, Dawn, and War. More specifically, War, and is directed by Wes Ball, the same director as the Maze Runner trilogy, which I am actually planning to review the Maze Runner trilogy on my channel, maybe next, like sometime within this month, in honor of this movie's release. I thought, why not review that trilogy? Anyways, yeah, back on topic. And it stars Owen Teague, Freya Allan, Kevin Durant, Peter McCoon, William H. Macy, etc. And so Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes tells the story taking place several generations in the future, following Caesar's demise. Apes have now become the dominant species, and they live harmoniously, while humans have been reduced thanks to that virus, and they've been reduced, and now they're living in the shadows. And yeah, this tyrannical new ape named Proximus Caesar, who pretty much becomes the next Caesar, well, as he thinks. Well, technically, he does have the Caesar name on him, and he's called Proximus Caesar, which represents him becoming the new Caesar. He builds his empire, but in a bad way. Like now, he pretty much goes down the path of Scoba, where like he sends apes to hunt down the last remaining humans, so that the apes can be the only ones in the world. Ones in the world, yeah. One young ape named Noah, who is whose ancestor is Caesar. He's pretty much part of the Caesar family, like the main bloodline of Caesar, if you know what I mean. He's just living his life in the forest. He has his own home, his family, his brother, sister, and parents. But one day, Proximus Caesar, his goons take over the village and kidnap all his family and everyone in the community. So yeah, so Noah goes on a journey to save his family from Proximus Caesar, who may have been presumed dead, but they're actually in this island where Proximus Caesar is. Along the journey, Noah discovers this human named May, who actually can talk unlike the other humans, and she's actually smart. And because of that, she's being hunted. And so Noah must learn secrets about May. And in the process, he learns more about himself. He learns more about the apes other than what he thinks, and learns more about the humans. And yeah, so that's the plot for it. So yes, now I'm sure you guys have seen my reviews for the other Planet of the Apes films. If you haven't seen my reviews on them yet, they're on my channel, so you can go check them out. But just for a quick summary on my thoughts of them, yeah, they're certainly one of the greatest trilogies of all time. Like, they're certainly my top 5 favorite trilogies of all time. Maybe top 10, but I'm not sure, since there is actually one film that is imperfect, and that's especially in comparison to other trilogies that I've rated a full 5 stars on. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, it's not my number one favorite trilogy. That would go to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but yeah, it's certainly, I can see why people would describe them as the modern Lord of the Rings trilogy. Rise of the Planet of the Apes is the one imperfect film in the trilogy, but I still love it. Dawn is my favorite in the trilogy, no doubt about it, and War is close to Dawn. It's a perfect conclusion to the trilogy. And yeah, I am a Planet of the Apes fan, but it's actually mainly because of that trilogy. Because I gotta be honest here, I am not a fan of the older Planet of the Apes. Now, don't get me wrong, the first movie is good, but it's honestly kind of overrated, honestly. Oh boy, yeah, I know you are going to taser me, use a taser that was used in this movie, but it's a solid film. The original 1968 Planet of the Apes film is solid, but it's just not my cup of tea. It's not, and I know it's probably because I'm more into the modern one, so it's a little hard for me to get into into that one. But yeah, I will admit, maybe if it wasn't for the new trilogy we have, the Caesar trilogy, I would have appreciated Planet of the Apes more. But yeah, sequels I don't care. But Escape from the Planet of the Apes is super overrated. I don't get why it has a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, probably the most overrated Planet of the Apes movie for me. And then of course we got the garbage Tim Burton one. Need I say more about how bad that movie is? But and then we got this one. Yes, I will admit it was really concerning about this one. I mean, this announcement did concern a lot of people, like being like, how are they gonna continue this one without? How are they gonna continue the franchise without Caesar? And I know Luke Newcomb, the number one Planet of the Apes fan, whose favorite movie of all time is War for the Planet of the Apes, really got pissed off at Disney for pretty much milking the Planet of the Apes franchise and having them continue without Caesar and thinks that it's gonna be just another Disney cash grab. Well, yeah. For me, I would say the only thing I was skeptical about was Wes Ball, the director they chose, because his other movies were mostly rotten movies, so I was worried that Kingdom would go down the same path when it comes to reviews. But when it comes to my own personal taste, I was actually on board with this one, especially with the fact that this is Disney. I trusted them. And then the trailers dropped, and I was like, yeah, and I was excited, but I was like also questioning how is this going to top the original trilogy. But my hype fully came on board. I was fully on board in that Super Bowl trailer. Yeah, that was a trailer that got me on board, and also the posters as well. The posters also another thing that got me on board, especially that May poster. Oh, she looks gorgeous, man. She was instantly my Planet of the Apes crush. That's the first thing I'll say. Yeah, I was on board with one. Also, the IMAX trailers and the final trailers, I was also on board with those trailers, and yeah, and it's unfortunate though that this movie is actually so far. This movie is getting divisive reviews. Yeah, there's no Rotten Tomatoes score yet, but yeah, the reviews are pretty divisive. As there are some people who loved it and say it does live up to the Caesar trilogy, and others who say that it was disappointing. It's not only disappointing in comparison to the trilogy, but disappointing as a movie on its own. But yeah, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I saw it today. Coming out of it, I gotta say, yeah, I absolutely love this movie. Yeah, this movie absolutely lives up to the hype. And I'm gonna straight up say it. This is gonna be a controversial take. I know this. I mean, this probably has topped my hot take of the original Planet of the Apes. Yeah, my biggest Planet of the Apes hot take is that the original is good but overrated. This is my newest hot take now. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is my new favorite Planet of the Apes movie. Yes, guys, you heard me right out of my mouth. And I know you Planet of the Apes fan are gonna be like, oh, you're not a true Planet of the Apes fan. You're just a Disney shell. You only like this movie because of Disney. Yeah, but I don't care. I don't care what anyone else says. It's yeah. I know I do sound like a total Disney shell, but trust me, guys. I mean it. It actually is that good, and considering that people are divided on this one, I guess maybe I'm not really I will admit, yeah, maybe I am not necessarily expecting the score to be high. Like it's probably gonna be around the 60 to 70% Rotten Tomatoes. But my only hope now is that it doesn't end up rotten, because you'll never know. Even though I doubt it'll be rotten based on what I saw, I mean it's possible. I guess. I mean, there are movies you'd expect like a 90% Rotten Tomatoes, but then it ends up getting panned, though, which is a perfect example of that. But either way, yeah, I'm still gonna stand by my opinion. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is the best Planet of the Apes movie, And this is also my second favorite movie of 2024 so far. Second only behind Dune Part Two. And I did not think that this would I would go that far. I thought it wasn't gonna be as good as Challengers. Heck, I will admit, at first, in the first half of the movie, I was thinking, yeah, this will probably be my fourth favorite, and it wouldn't top the Fall Guys my favorite movie of the month. But the more the movie progressed, the more it just gets better and better, up to the point where it's now elevated to be my second favorite. Now, is it as good? No, yes, it's no Dune Part Two by any means, but yeah, this movie is just yeah. So what I love about this film is that it respects the original Planet of the Apes films while fueling the Disney magic into it, which is what elevated the franchise to its highest highs. The visuals, yeah, we got to start off with the visuals because oh my god, the visuals are leaps and bounds more gorgeous than it ever was before. It they really took this franchise. They really took the visuals to the next level. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's better than Dune Part Two's visuals. I mean, I even though I won't be surprised if anything tops Dune Part Two. Oh well, actually, I won't be surprised. I mean, nothing will come close to Dune Part Two's visuals as the best visuals of the year. But this is a close second. I mean, the photorealistic designs on the apes, it just gets better and better and better from there. And I love how it's pretty much basically the original Planet of the Apes and the Caesar trilogy combined when it comes to visuals. So when it comes to the senior citizens, like specifically Noah's parents, they look like the original Planet of the Apes, which pays homage, which is pretty much a nod to the original. And despite me saying it's overrated, I do respect it anyway. So I definitely gotta give this movie props for that. And this one, it looks just as good, if not even better than the Caesar. I'm talking about like the younger generation, like the middle age, the apes, I guess. No one looks exactly like Caesar. So much so that even he, sometimes I see him as Caesar. Yeah, I love that. And I know people say, oh, but should that be a criticism if Noah's design is copying Caesar? Hell no to that. In fact, I had no flaws whatsoever. Yeah, I had no flaws at all. I mean, and even some of the flaws that people give this film, like, most people would usually have the same flaws, but I personally disagree with them. People's flaw with the movie is that it's too long, it's very slow pacing, and it's not as deep and thought provoking as the original. Okay, first off, have you guys actually forgotten that the original Planet of the Apes, the Caesar trilogy, was actually slow, especially War? In fact, I argue that this actually felt a little faster paced than War for the Planet of the Apes. It's slow, but throughout the runtime, it was engaging throughout. And I think the long runtime works for me. The fact that this is the longest one, it did work out because it actually, how do I say this? It's the longest one because there's a lot going on in the plot. In fact, so much so that it's going to be a little hard to talk about this movie, to go in depth in this movie without getting the spoilers. The trailers for this film did not show a lot of things in this. Yeah, I think after seeing this film, I think the trailers did a very good job of keeping so many things a secret. Like, they only show like the basis of the film. They only show like the new characters in the world and the basic idea of the story that it's a new generation and they're trying, and it's a legacy and all that stuff. But this movie actually has things that the trailers did not tell, and not even a hint. Oh yeah, and also, by the way, those leaks were not true. Those leaks that, they were going to space, I heard those leaks. No, they're not true. That's the only thing I will spoil in this movie. They did not go to space. Or any of those rumors I read on Reddit, no, that's not true. That's the only thing I'll spoil in this movie. Is that all the Reddit leaks are false. Yeah. I won't say exactly what the intention is, but I will say, yeah, it did have something to do with space when it comes to May's character, which I'll get to in a bit, but yeah. Now, yeah, going back to the visual effects department, yeah, I mean the VFX on the CGI and the apes are next level. But what really stood out to me the most is the cinematography. It just gets better and better and better. But it's come right up to the point where the cinematography is the most gorgeous. Like, why can't I think at this point they should start filming this franchise in IMAX with IMAX cameras, because this movie they did not. I mean, I watched this movie in an IMAX like screen. I didn't watch this movie in IMAX, but I watched this in another version of IMAX called A Giant, which is actually bigger than IMAX, believe it or not. Yeah, it's like basically IMAX 2.0 but bigger. Very similar to the theater I watched Oppenheimer in my first showing. Where like I didn't watch it IMAX, but I watched it in a screen that looks like IMAX. Yeah, the whole picture was like there was like bars on top of the widescreen. So yeah, please for the next Kingdom of the Planet for the next Planet of the Apes film, please film it in 3D. Oh no, not 3D but IMAX cameras. Please use IMAX cameras next time. West Ball, please and thank you. But yeah, the cinematography, like the shots, they look like a painting. Like one perfect example of a gorgeous shot was seen in the trailer where like Caesar and his father were like sitting down and looking at this bridge, and when the sun sets, oh man, it's gorgeous. It's drop dead gorgeous. And also this scene in the beginning of the film, like after the prologue. Oh yeah, actually I do plan on revealing what happened in the prologue, because you guys are gonna be blown away. But later, I'll say that one for later. But when actually the future starts to get introduced, like when we get introduced into the generation of the movie, the setting, oh man, it looks gorgeous. Like the camera just pretty much shows around the forest, and oh my god, it like my jaw was seriously dropped when the camera was like showing that, man. And another thing I love about this film, going outside the visuals department, is that this film is very respectful to Caesar's legacy. I mean, and yeah, you know what? I want to talk about the opening scene now. Yeah, the opening scene is basically Caesar's funeral. Yes, guys, Caesar was actually in this film. It's not that big of a spoiler, by the way, because maybe you might have saw it coming, but for me, I did not think they do that. So, yeah, so basically the film started off with all the apes from the war, all the characters from War for the Planet of the Apes. The apes specifically just like holding Caesar's funeral, like they pretty much burned the Caesar in his crypt, and then they all said apes together strong, with the apes together strong sign language. Yeah, that was like, I was moved by that opening scene. I was in tears for that opening scene. Best opening scene of 2024. Best scene of 2024. Yeah, I thought that was going to be the best scene of King of the Planet of the Apes. I thought the opening because it's a scene with Caesar and it's a moving scene. What could top this? I was wrong. I mean, I was wrong, because what follows that opening scene, like 30 minutes into the movie, there was already a scene that tops the Planet of the Apes scene. Planet of the Apes scene, and that is the village fight, where basically the evil apes have burned down the village and fight and kidnap all the other apes, while Noah comes in and fights them back. Oh man, if you thought it was intense in the trailers, oh trust me, it is very intense. It is very intense. Yeah. Wow. It's so intense. I can't believe it. And then we also get the third act. Oh man, the third act. Probably now the third act is where I'll try to keep things vague, because the third act is where all the spoiler stuff happens. They reveal all the big things. So yeah, like what I said, I'll try to keep the third act brief, but I'll just say probably my favorite scene in the film is a certain reveal about May. A certain reveal. Maybe I'll say it in the comments. maybe I'll probably talk about it in other platforms aside from this video somewhere else. I'm not sure where, but I'll just say it's somewhere in like the climax where like we see yeah okay, well, I'll give a hint. Basically, remember in the Comic Con the Super Bowl trailer, the explosion. Yeah, that was actually my favorite scene in the film. And yes, it has something to do with May. But then again, like what I said, that's the only two hints I'll give this film. No spoilers whatsoever. You'll see where I'm coming from with this one. But yeah, and also you got this entire scene inside like the vault. Yeah, it's actually a vault. It actually gave me vibes of Avatar: The Way of Water when they were inside this cargo ship and this abandoned ship, and then they were like swinging around the bars and fighting each other there. Oh man, it's really good, epic. And then we get to Caesar versus no, sorry, Noah versus Proxima Caesar. That final battle. Now I have a feeling people are going to criticize it for this. Are going to criticize it for this. Because it was a very short final battle, a short match between Noah. So people, Noah versus Proxima Caesar. So I have a feeling people are going to say it's anticlimactic at all, but personally to me, not anyways. And you know what, Caesar and no, sorry, why do I keep calling Noah Caesar? Oh, like that goes to show how good Noah was, by the way. But yeah, Noah versus Proxima Caesar is, oh Lord, it's basically like the ape version of Paul Atreides versus Austin Butler's character Feyd-Rautha in Dune Part 2. Yeah, remember their sword fight? Yeah, it's similar to that. And you thought Caesar versus Koba and Dawn was the best ape versus ape fight? Oh, wait till you see Noah versus Caesar. Yeah, versus Proxima Caesar. Oh man, their fight is so brutal. Like, just as brutal as that fight scene in Dune Part 2 I mentioned. Man, this makes me want to rewatch Dune Part 2 soon. Just mentioning Dune Part 2 a couple of times in this video. Yeah, that fight scene, it's short, but it's very climactic. It felt very earned, and I was completely satisfied with that final battle. And yeah, we're not even done yet. But yeah, let's get right into it. And yes, yeah, I just mentioned this movie is filled to the brim with unexpected surprises that you are not going to see coming. Yeah, every time a reveal in this film comes along, I just have my jaw drop in surprise. Yeah, Noah. Yeah, let's talk about Noah now. He isn't better than Caesar, and he doesn't need to, but he does live up to Caesar. Yeah, Noah is a great character, and this movie is essentially a coming of age story of Noah learning new things about the apes as it goes along. He's basically an adolescent. They don't really reveal that he's an adolescent, but they do actually showcase him being an adolescent, learning new things about not only the apes but also the civilization as well. And yeah, and he is a perfect legacy character to Caesar. He deserves to be the new Caesar. And Proxima Caesar is without question the best Planet of the Apes villain yet. Sure, he does have I will say though that he doesn't have a lot of screen time. He does have a blink or miss moment during the bridge fight, which is not another one of my favorite action scenes in the film. Yeah, we actually Proxima Caesar was actually seen in that in that moment, the bridge fight, where he was like basically climbing under the bridge before his allies came into the bridge and started attacking them. Yeah, it's a blink or you miss moment. He basically has a similar amount of screen time as Savage from No Time to Die, so I can see the criticisms. Proxima Caesar barely in this movie, but his screen presence felt earned. especially his motivation to becoming the next Caesar, despite being nothing like him and more like Koba. That is menacing. Yeah, sure. He doesn't have any sympathy, unlike Koba or Colonel McCullough. But that's actually what makes him stand out. He's a very He's not a sympathetic villain. He's just a straight up ruthless asshole who you just want to see him lose. And when Proxima Caesar gets defeated, you're like, yes, yeah. It made me cheer when he gets defeated. But yeah, I'm gonna end. Yeah, I'll talk about the best, the highlights last. But let's yeah, this movie is actually very ambitious. It has such large. Now, yes, when it comes to the scale, it is very ambitious, but it's smaller scale than Dawn and War. Bigger scale than Rise, I will say. I mean, Rise of the Planet of the Apes still has the smallest scale in the franchise, but this one is very ambitious because it actually takes risks. It's by far the riskiest Planet of the Apes film because simply just the idea of continuing the franchise without Caesar, and simply put, making a Planet of the Apes film without Caesar, that is a big risk right there because how are you actually going to top the Caesar trilogy? And yeah, this movie had to take a lot of risks in order to do that, and it paid off so well. Yeah, one of the things that really surprised me about this movie is having another human character, which is William H. Macy's character. You thought he was an ape, but he's actually a human character. Won't give any other detail, I'll just say I did not expect another major human character to show up in this movie, despite he only had like 10 minutes of screen time at best. And also, and also what I really like is that I mean, just like with the other Planet of the Apes films, this one is able to actually have deep themes as well. Deep themes and complexities to this otherwise simple coming of age story. And it explores complex issues such as power dynamics, societal structure, and the moral dilemmas that arise when different species coexist. Different species, I mean the humans and the apes. It sparks very meaningful conversations throughout this film. Yeah, they really do mean something. And they actually feel very headed. It doesn't feel obvious. It's not trying to preach a message. Its main goal is just to respect the original, and it does that beautifully. And of course, now let's get into the MVP of the film, and that is Freya Allen's May. Oh my. May is now officially my favorite Planet of the Apes character ever. I mean, I know this is actually very unexpected. I mean, this whole franchise is driven by apes. Apes are meant to be better than humans because you're supposed to root for the apes more. It's more driven around male characters and there's very little female characters. And yet, a female human character becomes the best character in the Planet of the Apes trilogy. No, the whole franchise. Whether apes or other humans. Yeah, May is like the best of them all. And as great as the character development of Noah is, May is actually the one who gets more character development than Noah. Because, I mean, this film pretty much explores May's secrets. You know, when we first see May, she starts off as this damsel in distress, this animal-like human character who drives the audiences into thinking that she cannot speak, that she's just there, acting like an animal. But she's actually just shy towards Abe, like apes. Like she just didn't want to talk to the apes. But when we actually get to when we see her talk, oh man, yeah, there is a lot more to her than you know, and her character, like we learned so much more about her character than Noah. Sometimes this actually felt like no May's movie, even though May is technically a supporting character. Like I actually put her in my best supporting actress category in my Frozen awards, honestly. But I mean, May is actually the hero among the humans surviving. Yeah, without giving away any details, May is actually the one who May is actually the one who saves the human race. Yeah, that's the only information I'll give about May when it comes to her big reveals. She's trying to save the human race. She's trying to save the last the last sole survivors of the humans on Earth. Yeah, that's her goal, and yeah, she's really good. And yes, she's not just some damsel in distress. She's actually a badass. I mean, she shot an evil ape. I mean, yeah, I won't. And she actually fought someone. I mean, I'm trying my best to be as vague as possible, but man, yeah, there is actually girl power in this movie. I am not joking. That's actually one reason as to what truly elevated this movie to be my favorite Planet of the Apes film. I mean, it was already my favorite Planet of the Apes film in the beginning, anyways. So yeah. And not to mention, she has a gorgeous voice. Every time she talks, it just makes you smile. It's just so gorgeous. And yes, she's my Planet of the Apes crush. She's one of my crushes of the year. Yeah, she's one of my crushes of 2024 so far, in my opinion. And yes, there's also much more female characters in this film, as there's a lot more female apes. You got Noah's sister and Noah's mother. And so yeah, and the ending did make me shed a tear. I mean, what an ending that was. While it does feel partially complete, like as if it completed the stories of both the apes and the humans, it really left wanting more. And I really want a new Planet of the Apes movie this instant. I want to see more of Noah and May and the other apes as well. So yeah, so overall, I absolutely adore Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, I know it sucks that this movie isn't getting the rave reviews that it should get, but hopefully, I have given a trustworthy review. Yeah, maybe I'm fanboying Disney, maybe I'm being a shill, but I don't care. Maybe I'm overhyping this movie, but I mean, I did try to watch the movie in open mind. I was open minded to where this could rank in my 2024 ranking, but it ended up in second. Heck, I wasn't even expecting this to be my second favorite movie of the year. So yeah, this movie actually ended up being even better than what I was expecting. So yeah, and yes, this is indeed my favorite Planet of the Apes film. So yeah, I know, like I said, I am not expecting the Rotten Tomatoes score to be high. I know it's gonna be below 80 or something, but I just hope this movie at least has some appreciation. Well, it kind of does from some film critics I saw. So yeah, I'm probably the biggest lover of this movie. Yeah. So with that said, I'm going to give Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes 5 stars out of 5. Best Planet of the Apes movie ever. So yeah, don't listen to those harsh reviews and just go see the film for yourself. Also, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Harry Thomas Pictures because this is his most anticipated film of the year. I'm very sure he'll agree with me that I can see him agreeing with me that this is the best Planet of the Apes film. Just all thanks to all the girl power in this film. So yeah, that's all for my review of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Have you seen this film yet? What are your thoughts on it? If you did, would you agree with me that this is the best Planet of the Apes film? Or are you with the majority and saying that this is inferior to the Caesar trilogy? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on the Garfield movie. Yeah, if you guys have forgotten, I saw this from early. I saw this from early, and now I'm gonna share my thoughts on it tomorrow. So yeah, bye guys.